I mean, how many of you guys wake up in the morning highly excited about getting after today by a show of hands? Yeah, like one or two, maybe, right? And how many of you are like, you open your eyes, fuck, by a show of hands? It's okay, because I've been there where I'm opening my eyes like, here we go. But what's the difference? The difference is what's going on in our mind at any given time. And I want to help us with this. We're going to connect the dots. Right now, I want you to write down, how do you feel on an energy perspective from a scale of 1 to 10? Write down right now. I want to see everybody write something down. Is it a 2, no energy? Is it a 1? You might as well get in a coffin and wait. Or are you a 9 and a 10 and you're excited about life? Which one is it? 10. It's a 10, okay. You guys have it all written down? I believe that energy is absolutely everything. And the only thing that is going to separate you from the competition moving forward is the energy and the mindset that you give off at any point in given time. Let me ask all of you a question. How well has your current mindset been treating you year to date? Life to date. How many of you are really at your true potential by a show of hands? Who has kids in this room? Show of hands. Do you think your kids would say that the mom and dad are owning up to their true potential? You see, what I found is 90% of us go through life and listen to everyone around us. 90% of us wake up with no intention. We go to the office with no intention. We get to the office at like 9, then we go to Starbucks at 10, and then we go to lunch at 12, and we never really get anything done. And what I've noticed, guys, after coaching hundreds of real estate agents and investors, people are done mentally way before they are done financially in this business. And in 2008, anybody in the market in 2008? Yep. Okay, good. I was not. I was just graduating high school. But my parents were, and my uncle was. And my uncle owned a very successful mortgage company. They did about $38 million a year. That company went belly up along with every other real estate company in 2008, right? So then knowing that, it's interesting because one of his partners, when the market crashed, just couldn't do it. You see, there was a loss, and that loss, because he didn't work on his mindset, because he didn't work on his energy, because he wasn't working on the little things we're going to dive in today, he chose to jump off of a bridge versus continuing to be there for his family because of a market crash. Now, do you think it was because of the market crash, or do you think it was because the 6 inches in between his ears? So what's the difference? Well, the difference is, guys, is we have to start to take charge. Because what I saw guys like Ty Leon Guerrero, when the market crashed, he didn't go belly up, he did 300 deals. You see, I saw when market corrections change, there's a certain piece of the market that succeeds at a very high level. And then you have about 90% or 95% of the other population in our industry that are broke. Have you guys seen this before? Yes or no? Yes. They say that the average real estate agent makes $56,000 a year. How is that possible? There's 1.8 million real estate agents in the United States. What's the average? One deal? One deal. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is, guys, is we have to wake up in the morning and start to set intentions for our day. So I want you to write down a word called affirmations. And it's something that we all went through today. It's affirmations. It's speaking to yourself even though you may not really believe it. You see, when I say money flows to me easily and effortlessly in ever-increasing amounts, there's times where my mind's like, yo, KP, nah, dude, money ain't flowing. Money ain't flowing at all. Matter of fact, you just took a 200K loss in Arizona. What do you mean money's flowing? Right? And then the drunk monkey kicks in, and all of a sudden you start coming up with all these hallucinating thoughts that bring you back. Versus taking a look at the other side. Versus taking a look at it and going, what if I just took charge of it? What if every morning I was to say to myself, I'm alive, I'm excited, I'm full of energy, and I'm going to say it until I actually feel it. Because if you say it over and over and over again, eventually you're going to start to believe it. The problem is that 90% of us, when we speak, it's negative. How many of you guys beat yourself up? I'm not strong enough. Or I can't do that. Or you'll start, because I had that past, I can't do this. Because I had that loss, I can't do this. Has anybody ever been there before? So I'm just curious, guys. I'm just curious. What side do you want to be on when this market turns? Are you going to be the 95% of the people that really don't do anything? Or are you hyperly excited, beyond belief, like I'm going to freaking destroy the next 2 years? Which one is it? And my question is, are you reaffirming it to yourself every single day? Right now, guys, is the time where we have to start working on the tiny little things that nobody sees. The tiny little moments when we're talking to ourselves, when we're saying affirmations, even though we don't believe it, that's that little thing that's going to keep us moving forward. I was 21 years old and I went to Arizona. Thought I'd be cool doing real estate investing out of state. And I didn't master my own backyard. I didn't listen to any of the ORAT rules. And I went to Arizona and I gave a contractor $225,000. Gave him $225,000 to do 3 houses. Can you guys guess what happened? Can you guys just take a wild guess? He was gone. Gone. The next day, gone. I'm getting pictures of properties that are supposed to be rehab, and they're not. They're I don't know where he's getting them from. Probably pictures from Google, and just sending me, yeah, these are progress reports. So I'm 21. I show up. I finally get to the house to only realize not a damn thing's been done. There ain't no trash out. There's no demo. The pool, they're supposed to retile the pool. There's no pool. There wasn't even a pool at the house. I tell you this because I had to learn the hard way. And I'll tell you guys, for 4 months, I was, pardon my language, mentally fucked. For 4 months. Because all I can think about was that loss. Has anyone ever been there before? Yep. And what I had to realize is that I was creating more of the negativity. I was reaffirming all of the negative shit that was continuing to happen. By every time I opened my mouth and I chose not to take charge of the words, I was reaffirming all of the bad shit that happened. Versus saying, I'm so excited this happened. Because if I can lose 225 grand and still come out on top, oh, I'm going to make millions. Versus, oh, I just lost 225. How am I supposed to do another deal, Tony? So you guys, the problem in this entire industry is that I believe we overcomplicate it. And complexity is the enemy of execution. And the issue is that we overcomplicate this entire thing. And it's really simple. We need to speak to ourselves in a positive mental fashion. We need to speak to ourselves in an uplifting way. That's number 1, if anyone's taking notes. Number 2, you need to start writing down all of the shit that is in your head. Because if you don't, it's going to plant more seeds of shit. And it's just going to continue to grow. So what we have to do is we have to take charge. And I want you guys to think about this real fast. Let's just say that this was filled with coffee, dark black coffee, this entire water bottle, filled with dark black coffee. How many of these water bottles will I need to pour into this water bottle to get rid of all of the coffee to where it's eventually clear? 4, okay, well, maybe 10, 20, 1,000? We really don't know. Well, see, here's the issue. You guys think of this as dark coffee? That's our mind with a bunch of negativity, with a bunch of shit that isn't moving us forward. And what's happening is that we have this cup of coffee and we start to pour some positive stuff into it. We start to pour some positive stuff, and then all of a sudden, the neighbor next to you says, Tony, you can't do that. And the moment he says that, this gets darker. Or you turn on the news and you see that the market is down and everybody's losing their ass. And guess what happens to this coffee? It gets darker. It doesn't get any lighter. So the whole point of this, guys, is we have to be able to put 10 times the amount of positive thought in our mind than we are negative. And I want to connect the dots here. Negativity is the most strongest energy in this world because it's fucking everywhere. It's on the news. It's on the radio stations. You can't even open your phone without seeing negativity. So as you are trying to get this clear, the world and your family and the people who really don't care about you continue to pour more and shit into your mind, and you're not working on it. So guess what happens? You eventually say, fuck this, I'm out. Am I making sense here? You guys understanding what I'm saying? Because I truly believe that we all work on systems. We all work out processes. We're working on our systems right now. Our processes they're good. They can get better. Production's good, but that doesn't, yes, that's going to move the needle forward, but not really. Not in the next year or two. I believe in the next year or two, it's going to be the mentally strong that survive.